Hello guys, welcome back to episode 4 of Shut It Down Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about week 2 of NFL and college football, and we are going to be making our predictions on who's going to win the NFL games this week. Hope y'all enjoy.
Tennessee hills, ain't no smog and smoke on Rocket Top, ain't no telephone bills. Oh, Rocket Top, you'll always be close when on the...
Alrighty, folks, welcome in episode 4. Episode 4, we've made it to Quattro, Shut It Down Sports Podcast. Great weekend of football. Looking forward to another great weekend of football. Let's dive right into it. Tatum, you got it written down on your paper there. Last night, Stat Boy had to go upstairs because he was not happy with the team's performance, his team's performance. But we had a Stat Boy versus Dad matchup with which two teams?
So, and that game was the Bucks versus Texans. Bucks won by 1 point. Great game. I mean, they did good the whole game, but it was really close towards the end of the game. I think Texans were up by like 5 points, and then a lot of flags. Like there were like 5 flags in that minute or two of the last minute. So yeah, great job for both of those teams.
Yeah, Texans start 0-2. Stat Boy's not here to defend himself, but that's okay, because if he was, he'd probably get a little upset anyway, because the Bucks, we were talking trash back and forth. It is what it is. The Buccaneers almost blew it. Defense, outstanding. Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles ran some nasty blitzes where he faked the Mike Tatum. You know what the Mike is. That's the middle linebacker. That's what you played last year. He faked like he was going to come in, and then the wheel linebackers coming in, and they did a little swoop, and nasty blitzes that just kind of kept C.J. Stroud not really knowing what was going on. Baker Mayfield played very well. I never doubted him late. He had the huge fumble, which allowed the Texans to score, and they get 14-13. Then you get the punt return from the Texans to where they end up scoring off the 21-yard run to put them up 19-14. They don't get the 2-point conversion, but Baker Mayfield, White, Bucky Irvin, Texans could not stop the run. Not only could they not stop the run, they couldn't plug holes. They could not tackle. Very frustrating if you're D'Amico Ryan and the Houston Texans. Bucks moved to 2-0. Texans 0-2. We said this might be, is this last because of C.J. Stroud and his sophomore slump, or is he just maybe not that good? Again, Stat Boy's not here to
Sophomore.
Last year was his second year, and he didn't have as good a year as his rookie year. So,
Yeah.
is he just not good?
Rookie, sophomore, and junior.
Yeah. So is this the junior year, third year slump, or is he just not that good? Again, he's in a really bad division. We talked about it. Moving on, Tatum. Oh boy, here we go. Go ahead.
What they play?
The Rams.
Titans versus Rams. I forgot the score.
33-16, I believe, maybe 33-19. Can't remember.
Very disappointing. Cam Ward was great. I mean, just all the plays, man. Really, Cam Ward was just really the only one who did great. That's all I really have to say. I was disappointed in that game, though.
Yeah, it's almost like the Rams flipped a switch in the second half and just said, okay, we're done with this. Cam Ward, one of the more impressive throws of the weekend, doing what you're not supposed to do, throwing it back across midfield. Really impressive throw there. And he's the guy. The problem is you don't have any guys around him, right? Defense was they were played well in the first half, I thought. Jeffrey Simmons is always really good. But again, the Rams, credit to them, they just completely dominated that second half. They were bought in. Titans just not very good at all. Cam Ward, y'all know after listening, this is episode 4. I'm a big Will Levis guy. Cam Ward's your guy. You've got your guy after 2 weeks. Problem is, again, there's just not a lot around him. Tony Pollard's just not what he once was when he was with the Cowboys. Battered offensive line, and even when they were healthy, it's just a disaster. Speaking of disasters and bad O-lines, Tatum. If I had to make a pick, I don't think we picked these, but I picked this guy right here. Joe Burrow to be my preseason MVP. Good thing we did not take that one to the bank, Tatum. Bengals beat the Jaguars, but the biggest story here is, what are the Bengals going to do? Out for 3 months.
Yep. Still got Jamar Chase.
They still got Jamar Chase. They might as well sign you and just tell you, throw it to Jamar Chase every time. Just throw it to him every time. Maybe T. Higgins. Or, maybe some reverse handoffs. Jake Browning is the guy right now. We'll talk about this game later, but you got the Vikings and the Bengals with 2 injured quarterbacks. Jake Browning and Carson Wentz may be playing, but we'll get to that later. But if you're a Bengals fan, all you need is just 5 decent offensive linemen to protect the guy. He's so good, MVP worthy, got all the weapons around him. Defense, not very good, but if you've got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you can have a shootout, right? You can play with anybody. And now, I don't know. So.
Next game, Cowboys versus Giants. Pretty close game. What was the score?
40-37.
40-37. What are the Cowboys doing? Giants, not that good of a team. Mm-mm. I just think the Cowboys, they might be doing a little worse with Dak Prescott. They might be doing a little bit worse.
So
they just weren't good.
Well, again, this goes back to one of our headlines that we talked 2 weeks ago, Micah Parsons, right? What's your identity defensively? They don't have one. Offensively, Dak Prescott's been pretty good, but he's also got 2 really good receivers in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. You're going to have to win every game like this. Also, we said we overreacted. We overreacted on a couple things, or at least Tatum may not want to admit his faults. I don't know if he had many. I know I did. I'll talk about mine. One of mine right now was saying the Giants are just really bad. Russell Wilson, he figured out, hey, kind of like with Jamar Chase, if I just throw to Malik Neighbors every time, especially the one that was in double coverage, good things happen, right? He is an absolute stud. Neighbors is. Wilson played so much better. Cowboys really lucky to win that one, 40-37. Moving on, fun fact about the Cowboys and Giants, okay? It went to overtime. Cowboys kicked a field goal to win as time expired, so the full length of overtime, I believe that's right. And it still took less time than the Lions-Bears. Lions beat the Bears 52-21. Tatum, what do you have on the Lions-Bears?
So, Lions, they're still a pretty good team, but just the Bears, I think it's that Caleb Williams, he did good, but I don't think that team's real. I think they're kind of falling off. Caleb Williams needs to go back to his rookie season. He has to, or it's just not going to go well.
Yeah, Caleb Williams was okay. He definitely is not their biggest problem. You give up 52 points. Hello, defense. But that's the problem, Tatum. They were supposed to have a good defense, right?
Yeah, their defense was also bad.
Lions had been hearing it the first week. They lose by 2 touchdowns at Green Bay. So they're hearing it from all the naysayers. Oh, you lost both coordinators. What are you now? Well, they showed that against their former coordinator, Ben Johnson, the head coach, They can still do this, put up 52. And the reason that game took so long, longer than the Giants-Cowboys game, is because they kept scoring points. And when you score points, you got to kick field goals, and the clock, it stops, Tatum, over and over and over again. All right, moving on. Last NFL game we're going to talk about, going back to my overreaction.
Jets versus Bills. Talk about it first.
Yeah, I need to talk about this one because I overreacted with the Jets. I said Justin Fields, not that bad. I said I like him this year. They got some guys on offense. They got some guys on defense. They're not very good. I had them borderline playoff team.
I did too. They
yeah.
were great until they played the Bills, which the Bills, they're just a great team. But I think the Jets will still have a pretty good season. Just like they played one of the best teams in week 2, so I just think they need to get a little hotter and just show out a little bit more.
Yeah, the Bills, again, my Super Bowl pick to beat the Buccaneers, for anyone keeping score at home. Here's what's scary about them is Josh Allen did not play great, did not play MVP worthy, and they still dominated the Jets. So, AFC East, we know what's fixing to happen there with the Dolphins being as bad as they are. We're not even going to talk on them, okay? So, all right, moving on. That's kind of our top 5 storylines, games from the NFL. Now we're going to switch over to college football. I'm going to let Tatum take this one because he's got a lot to say about the Tennessee-Georgia game.
Tennessee-Georgia, 41-38.
That is correct.
41-38. You go into overtime. They do pretty good in overtime. And then they kick the field goal. Well, no. Tennessee kicks a field goal. Misses.
That's before overtime. So the one he missed was
yeah, he misses before overtime. Then they go into overtime when he could. Our kicker, Tennessee's kicker, sucks. He just sucks. He cannot kick. We got to get a better kicker. But I mean, they still did pretty good, 38-38. That was probably the only good team we have this year. Real good team we have this year. But and then in overtime they kick a field goal. Georgia kicks a field goal and they win. So yeah, it was just sad.
Yeah, definitely sad if you're a Tennessee fan. Place was rocking. You knew that if you're going to get them after losing 8 straight, that this was going to be the year, and just completely had it in the bag. You get, you get the false start penalty, backs them up 5 more yards. They think they're going to run another play, but then they say, no, we don't want another false start penalty. So they go ahead and bring the kicker out there. I don't want to say, you can kind of tell on his face from the beginning, but man, they had a lot of cameras on him and he did not look very confident. But again, tough loss for Tennessee. Georgia, maybe the best team in the SEC. I think they're my national title pick if we go back to episode 1. But tough one for Tennessee. Good thing about the college football playoff, though, is that plenty of football left. Obviously, you want to beat Georgia at home. Wasn't the year again for Tennessee. All right, moving on.
Kentucky.
Moving on to Kentucky. Won't spend a ton of time on it. They played Eastern Michigan. But Calder Boley does look comfortable. We'll see what happens when Zach Calzada comes back. I thought the running game was sound. Off this week, going into South Carolina. I've explained my feelings about South Carolina, and their coach, Vanderbilt, just whooped down on South Carolina. Statboy's not in here for that as well. But South Carolina, place will be rocking. Saw yesterday the game is a night game, so don't love that for the Cats. But they beat Eastern Michigan 48-23, I believe. So yeah. I'm still concerned. I thought they got what they needed to get out of that game, but still high level of concern. All right, LSU
versus Florida. You got that.
So, Brian Kelly very upset with the media after this one because the offense couldn't run the ball. Thought Florida did a good job of fighting this one. I think I said last week the spread was 6.5 or 7.5, and I said hammer LSU. They did cover, but I expected it to be a much more non-competitive game. So Florida, DJ Lagway, not very good, but they did what they had to keep it somewhat competitive. So not a ton of good college football games. Last thing this past weekend. Last thing we're going to talk about college football from this past weekend. What's going on at Clemson? 0-2, right? Lose to Georgia Tech. Go ahead.
So they first lost to LSU, and then they lose to Georgia Tech. Man, I mean,
1-2, not 0-2. I'm sorry, they played somebody bad between the two. Go ahead. Sorry.
1-2. Just not real good. Not real good for Clemson. All their hype they had at the start of the season, week 1. I mean, they looked great, and then they played LSU. Didn't do too good, but they did pretty good. That was a pretty close game, and then after that, man, they just.
Here's the thing with Clemson, right? Is that Dabo has been very adamant about, we're not doing transfers, but if you're going to keep your players, you got to be able to develop them. And Cade Klubnik looks like the same guy from last year. Hasn't really gotten a ton better. Guys like Trevor Lawrence used to be the guys that would stay and develop over years, and that is not the case anymore. So you have no guys coming in off the portal, which is fine, but you have to be able to adapt. You either got to develop talent or develop your own players, or you got to go get them. And if you're not going to go get them from the transfer portal and you're not going to develop, you either adapt or you're going to start 1-2 against any good team you play, right? Mm-hmm. Dabo Swinney came out and said today, hey, we've won the ACC 8 out of 10 times. That's great, right? It's the ACC, though. So I don't know. I'm concerned that if I'm a Clemson fan, that this may be the end, the official end. Not that it's been great over the last couple years, but this is not good. Not good if you're a Clemson fan. And again, goes to show maybe we need to decide whether or not we're going to go transfer portal or not. All right.
Next thing, we're going to go over the college football games for this Saturday. So first we have Tennessee versus
UAB, which is University of Alabama, Birmingham. So we have the spread 38.5.
I feel great about that game. Like I was telling y'all earlier, Georgia, I think we're going, if we didn't play Georgia, we would go undefeated this whole year. We're just playing really easy teams. I feel great about this team. Again, favored by 35.
38.5.
38.5, so yeah, I'm feeling
Do you
fine
think
about
they
this
cover?
game.
You think they cover? You think they beat them by more than 38.5? Maybe. I'm going to say yes.
That Chattanooga game was from 2 years ago, 63. Tennessee, they'll always play hard, but if they want to, they can push hard, and they can win by a lot, or they can just win by not that much. So.
All right, I got Tennessee covering 38.5. We've got Auburn at Oklahoma. Not a ton of good games this week. So we'll talk some of the top ones. Auburn at Oklahoma. Oklahoma challenging Georgia right now for the best team in the SEC. I don't think it's a fair argument. I think Georgia's the best team right now. But Oklahoma, Auburn, a little bit of a surprise, playing well. Oklahoma favored by 6.5. I'm going to go with Oklahoma Sooners. I don't think they cover. I think it'll be a good game. However, I've got the Sooners to win that one.
I haven't really watched I think I've watched some of these games. I just haven't really watched any of these teams yet, really. But I mean, Auburn did great last year. Oklahoma did great. I think I'm still going to go Oklahoma just because, man, they're just a great team. I like their coach. I mean, yeah, so.
All right, moving on.
Next game, we have Florida versus Miami. Miami favored by 7.5. I think I'm going to go Miami just because, you got Carson back. And then just Florida, I think it's their fall-off season. I feel like they should be favored more. But, I mean, Florida's still pretty good. I just think they're not doing as good as they did last season. I feel like they did better than what they're doing this season. But it's only week 2, so can't really say anything still.
And again, we're overreacting, right? At this point last year, Florida not kind of looking similar to what they were now. Not great, maybe not as bad, but they beat Kentucky like a drum, and that kind of propelled their season and kind of gave people hope with Billy Napier. Now you've obviously lost to South Florida. You've lost at LSU, but it was somewhat competitive. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last week. I said Miami would beat South Florida, but I picked South Florida to cover. Not going to do that. Florida does not cover this 7.5-point spread. I think Miami rolls them. Again, used to be growing up, Tatum, that was a huge in-state rivalry game. Now it's not. It still is, but it's still not to the level of what it once was. Again, best was back when both teams were absolutely loaded. Obviously not the case right now. So I've got Miami rolling in our final college football game for this week.
So now we're going to head over to our NFL games for the whole week. I think there's Thursday night, Sunday, and Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, first we got Miami versus Buffalo. Buffalo is favored by 12.5. I just know Buffalo's going to win just because the Dolphins are bad and the Bills are good, but I'm trying to look here. Who did the Bills play? Lions?
Bills beat the Jets.
Oh,
Pretty bad.
So, I mean, I don't know how it's favored by 12.5 because if the Jets are better than Miami. If I just don't get how it's favored by 12.5 whenever you beat the Jets way more than 12.5 points. So yeah, sometimes it's just teams. I mean, and everybody betting on there. So yeah.
So it's tough. I'm with Tatum, but the NFL is so hard, and Vegas, who makes these spreads, they're so good at it. I think why the spread is so low, and 12.5 is a big spread, especially in NFL. I think the reason it is because it's a short week. John Gruden's talked about this from time to time. Thursday night football is not always great football. Sometimes a lot of teams are not very well prepared. Which team's going to be more prepared? Buffalo could be looking at Miami like, oh, it's Miami, right? They're awful. And then, Miami plays hard, and now you got a close game going in the second half. I probably wouldn't touch this one at 12.5. I'd probably just pick Bills to win, and that's what I'm going to do here. But, the 12.5 scares me here. But we both have Buffalo to win.
Next game, we have Packers at Browns. Packers favored by 8.5. So Browns doing pretty hot this year, pretty hot. So I think I'm going to go Packers here. They got Aaron Rodgers. They got
Jordan Love. Not Aaron Rodgers. He's with the Steelers now.
I always get them two mixed up.
I understand.
Jordan Love, and I think there's one more good player.
The guy we talked about from the Cowboys.
Micah Parsons. I think they're going to dominate. I just think, Browns got Shedeur Sanders. They're going to have to play Shedeur, at least one game. I think he's, their third backup quarterback.
He might be fourth string. I don't know now. I don't know what it is.
They got to play him one game. Because who is their quarterback?
Joe Flacco.
He ain't that good, right?
He's solid. He's just old. But he's played well.
I just feel like they got to play him at least one game because, you don't really know. Did he play in preseason?
Mm-hmm. Played well a couple times in preseason. I've got the Packers to roll 8.5 points here. Again, Browns were a little surprised against the Bengals this past or 2 weeks ago, week 1. But I think Packers, again, the word to describe them that we described last week is scary. Packers are very scary, so I think they cover 8.5, win by 2 touchdowns.
Next game we have Rams at Eagles. Eagles favored by 3.5. Eagles doing great. I mean, just great team. But the Rams, they're getting up there, man. I mean, they just keep on trying, keep getting better, man. I just feel like they're doing great, but I'm still gonna go Eagles for this game. You take it.
Eagles beat the Chiefs this past weekend. We didn't talk about that one. Jalen Hurts and Jones from the Chiefs were having some fun words back and forth. But another good game. I want to take the Rams here. I think they're rolling. I think they're good. We said watch out for the Rams preseason, but I can't. I'm going Eagles to win. Rams cover 3.5.
So yeah. Next game we got Falcons at Panthers. Falcons favored by 6. Panthers, they're doing better. I feel like they're getting better than worse, but I still feel like it's just not their season. But I think I'm gonna take Falcons. You got Kirk Cousins. You got some other good players on there, so I'm gonna take Falcons. What you got?
So Kirk Cousins mentioned, we'll talk about him whenever we get to the Bengals play this week. Yeah, we'll talk about that then when we get to the Bengals. Because Michael Penix right now is Falcons starting quarterback. Played well last week. Panthers thought, and again, it's early, right? We're overreacting. We thought the Panthers may have a decent kind of year 2 Dave Canales, but they're not very good. I've got the Falcons to cover here, the -6 points over the Panthers. Who's the Falcons running back that's so good? Robinson?
Somebody.
Yeah, I like him a
I
lot.
don't really follow them. I just know Kirk Cousins on there. Next game we have Jets versus Bucks. So, I mean, this is pretty hard just because, I don't know, the Jets were good. We said watch out for them. But then they played this past weekend, and they didn't do great.
Only put up 3 points.
They only put up 3 points, And then we got the Bucks, who just played the Texans. Did amazing. Everything's good about that team. Everything's good. I don't know if they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think that far. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, So I'm going to go Bucks for this game.
Bucks will roll the Jets here, and here's why. Jets just played a really good defense. And the Bills, we saw what happened. Bucks, really good defense. Bucks roll here. Don't have the spread for that one.
Yeah, there's not. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. And Raiders at Commanders.
I think, did Jaden Daniels get hurt?
I don't think it was serious.
I just know I saw in the game. I feel like he did something. But Raiders, they're doing great. Haven't really watched much of the Commanders, but I've watched some of it. Commanders, great. I mean, so I think I'm gonna go Raiders here. I don't have much to say about this game. So
Raiders, we went to bed last night after the first Monday Night Football game.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that. Two games, even though we didn't appreciate it. Had to get up this morning, go to school, all that stuff, so we didn't stay up. But the Chargers beat the Raiders last night. Good game, though. Pete Carroll, I think the Raiders are pretty good. Chargers are really good. We'll talk about them later. Mm-hmm. But I will take the Commanders to win a close one here against the Raiders.
Next game we got Steelers versus Patriots. Steelers favored by 1.5. So Patriots, not that great of a team. But, I mean, so I think I'm going to go Steelers here. Steelers doing great. You got Aaron Rodgers, somebody else. Like somebody else on the Steelers, right?
Well, they got rid of George Pickens. Running back's an issue. The deal with the Steelers is which team is which, right? Week 1, it's like, okay, this team is legit. Aaron Rodgers can play football.
Yeah,
they played the Seahawks this past week.
They didn't do. They like.
May or may not have killed my parlay.
They did. They're kind of like the Jets right now, where they like play good and then now they're not doing great.
So because of that, I'm going to go with the Patriots here, coming off the big win over, who they beat, the Dolphins. Patriots here to beat the Steelers. Mike Vrabel, well-coached team, physical team, not very talented. I'm going Patriots at home.
So, I don't even really care about this game. I guess I'll go Patriots.
No, you just pick Steelers. You pick Steelers. Yeah. Stick with the Steelers. We'll be different.
Bengals at... Gosh, your handwriting sucks.
Shh.
What is it?
Vikings.
Vikings favored by 3.5. What is Justin Jefferson doing? What is he doing?
Are they throwing him the ball?
I don't know.
I don't know if they are either.
Not really.
So J.J. McCarthy's hurt. Joe Burrow's hurt.
Yeah.
This game's going to feature Jake Browning, Carson Wentz.
So, for this game, if Justin Jefferson's not getting past the ball, J.J. McCarthy is hurt. I'm going to go Bengals just because you still got Jamar Chase. I think Bengals backup quarterback.
He's not bad.
He's not bad. I think he's pretty dang good.
Jake Browning, here's the thing.
Not bad.
What do we do if we're the Bengals, right? Jake Browning's not bad. However, you're not going to win in the playoffs, and you've got playoff caliber offense if you can make it throughout the season. My pick, you got Kirk Cousins out there. I want Jameis Winston for an entertainment value. I think he would be fun on the Bengals. I don't know what they do. I don't think you can stick with just Jake Browning, but maybe they give him this week to kind of find out. And we'll kind of go from there. I am going to take, this is going to be a bad football game, I think. Low scoring.
Not the best.
I'm going to go different of potato. I'm going to take the Vikings, but it comes down to a field goal.
Yeah, what a hard pick. Next game we got Texans versus Jags. Jags favored by 1.5. So, I mean, you got the Jaguars here. You would expect that they would do a little worse, but they're doing pretty good. So I think I'm gonna still go Texans here just because you got C.J. Stroud. I love him. So I'm gonna go Texans here just because they played great. They just played the Bucks last night. So yeah.
Texans are 0-2. Jags playing well. Liam Cohen's got Travis Hunter playing. Trevor Lawrence looks more comfortable. Where's your drink? I'm going to go Texans as well, and here's why. I just don't see them starting 0-3. But if they do, I say if they start 0-3 and don't start to get any better, Colts, look out now. Look out. AFC South, bad football.
Next game we got Saints versus Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 7.5. So Saints.
Not very good.
Not very good.
But not as bad as we thought.
Yeah, not as bad as we thought. That's why I said not too bad. I feel like they're still gonna do pretty good. And then you got the Seahawks here who lost Geno Smith, but Seahawks had a lot of talented players. Well, not too talented, but talented enough to win them some games. Talented enough to
beat
get
the
them
Steelers
in the
like a drum.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks just because of how much they're favored, and the Saints they're not bad, but they are bad. So yeah.
They're not as bad as we thought. They're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. Shout out Matthew Rice. Seahawks cover big time here. the 7.5 point spread.
Next game we got Broncos at Chargers.
Heavyweight
Chargers favored by 2.5. I got Chargers here. Justin Herbert, great. Broncos, you got Bo Nix.
Maybe the best defense in the league.
Yeah, two great quarterbacks, but I'm still gonna take the Chargers just because of Justin Herbert, great quarterback.
Yeah, Chargers are really good, as we've seen. Jim Harbaugh, really good coach, and he may have that thing rolling already after the early playoff round exit. You got what you wanted out of last year. Now I think they might be the team that's taking that next step. I've got the Chargers to win by a touchdown here over the Broncos at home.
Lions at Ravens.
Monday Night Football.
Great game. A lot of hype in Monday Night Football. Ravens favored by 4.5. I'm gonna take the Ravens. Just because they lost to the Bills. I think.
Right.
They lost to the Bills by 1, but they're still doing great. That's gonna be a tough battle for the Ravens and Bills this whole year, just in the playoffs and everything. Just because probably the best two teams in the league. Watch out for the Eagles though. Just them three teams probably the most competitive and the best. So I'm gonna take Ravens.
We'll save this one for last. So we've got the Chiefs at New York Giants. Chiefs are favored by 6.5. Go ahead, Tatum.
Chiefs at Giants?
Chiefs at Giants.
Chiefs at Giants favored by 6.5. I'm going to take the Chiefs here. I don't think Chiefs are doing too bad. Just not as good as they've been doing.
Not up to standard.
Not as good as they've been the past 3 years. So I'm still going to take the Chiefs just because the Giants. Watch out for the Giants. Just Chiefs are still up there, just not as good as they were.
So whenever the Giants got rid of Saquon Barkley, they invested heavily in the defense. I don't think it is paid off, obviously, like they thought they would have. And then obviously Saquon goes and wins the Super Bowl. I do think this one will stay close throughout, but Chiefs barely cover the spread and beat the Giants here.
Next game we got Cowboys at Bears. Bears favored by 1.5. This is gonna be a close game. You got Cowboys, Giants. That game Cowboys scored a lot of points, but also played a really bad team. So I think I'm gonna still take the Cowboys here, just because I still think Bears a little bit of fall off season. So yeah, you take it.
Cowboys definitely win this game. I like them a lot here just because the Bears, I don't think, can put up points. Cowboys can. Bears, another team that invested in their defense, not very good. I've got the Cowboys. We don't do locks of the week, but if we did, this is the closest thing I have to picking a team to win, Cowboys to beat the Bears. But I'm going to say that as my first lock of the week, and this will probably be a for sure Bears victory.
Next game we got Cardinals at San Francisco. San Francisco favored by 1.5. This is gonna be a pretty good close game. Their Cardinals QB pretty good. San Francisco, what are we doing? Y'all were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, I think, and man, y'all.
Everybody got hurt. I don't know.
George Kittle.
He's still there.
But they got some good players, but I think the running back and the quarterback got hurt, right?
McCaffrey, yeah, and then Deebo Samuel is now with the Commanders.
So just not the best team as they used to be. So I got Cardinals here because I really like their QB too.
Kyler Murray playing well. I'm going to take the 49ers to win in a close one, but should be interesting, which brings us to our last game.
Close it off. Colts at Titans. I think Uncle Carl's going to this game.
This one's in Nashville.
Yeah, can I go?
Can you go?
Yeah.
We're recording.
Go.
Who's you going?
Colin Liv.
Oh, okay. We'll talk later.
Colts at Titans. Colts. Great job. Colts, great job. I don't know who they played this weekend. We did not go over, I don't think. But, I mean, I don't know. You got the Titans, who didn't do great. They didn't do great, and then they kind of came back. They're kind of hard just because they'll play good and then they'll also play bad. So I don't really know. I think the Colts are going to win. But I'm still going to cheer for the Titans. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts to win this one. It could get to be an ugly game, come down the running game for the Colts. But I've got the Colts to win here over the Titans. Colts playing well. Daniel Jones is off to a really hot start, and he's got pieces around him, including a competent coaching staff, which the Titans do not, including some decent playmakers, which the Titans do not. So Colts win here.
Totally forgot our two sponsors.
Close out the show with our two sponsors. Tell them how great they are.
So first we got 313 Lawn and Landscaping. Great business, low charges. Just great. They can mow your lawn, cut down trees, anything you want, any landscaping. So, and then our next is On the Move, moving and storage company. Just moving company here around Tennessee, pretty local. From like Murfreesboro, Gallatin. They can take you really anywhere. I think they drove Taylor Swift somewhere. So yeah, great two businesses. Thank y'all. Hope y'all enjoy. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Bye. Have a good one.
See you week 5, folks.